doing? So I was talking to this guy just now, earlier, up at the rock store here, and he was telling me he just recently got a ticket at this stop sign up here. Got a ticket for not making a complete stop. And I wanted to just go over just real quick, you know, just let you know, like, here's the best way not to get a ticket and how to properly stop at a stop sign or whatever, anytime you stop your motorcycle. And what you want to do is you want to use your right foot on the rear brake for the whole way up, you know. So I come up, I'm using my right hand, my right foot on the brake, okay? I'm coming to a stop, and so that means I put my left foot down. I know I've said that before, but that is the way to do it. You put your left foot down so that you can keep using your right foot on the rear brake the whole way, the whole time you're stopping, all the way up to the end. And I see a lot of people that put their right foot down, and that's really not the best technique, because if you ever stop on the side of a hill, it's nice to be able to use that rear brake to hold yourself when you go to take off again, because then you can let go of that front brake and you're still holding yourself in position with the rear brake, and then it makes it a lot easier to do the twist throttle, because you're not holding the front brake while you're trying to twist the throttle. It makes it a lot easier to do that. And that's one of the main benefits to just getting used to using the rear brake in conjunction, you know, with the front at the same time as the front, is you don't want to just get in the habit of only using your front brake all the time and never using your rear brake and always putting your right foot down, because then when you get into a position or a situation where you need that rear brake, then it's not gonna be good. You're not gonna have practice at it. You're not gonna be proficient at it, and it's not going to be like second nature. You know, you just want it to be part of your routine, that your right foot just stays on the peg, stays on the rear brake, it stays up on the bike where you can use the rear brake, and your left foot is the foot that you use for balance when you come to a stop. I know I've mentioned that in other videos, that you want to stop and put your left foot down, use your right brake, your right foot on the rear brake, but I just figured I'd go over that again, because I was talking to a guy earlier today who told me he had just gotten a ticket for not stopping, not making a complete stop at a stop sign. And the reason for that was, he goes, man, when you come to a stop, like at a stop sign, he's all, do you put your foot down? And I'm like, yeah. And he's all, well, because I came to a stop, you know, and like, he's all, you know how like you can shift into first and stop without putting your feet down and then just go again. And he's like, a cop saw me do that and thought that I didn't stop all the way, and he wrote me a ticket for freaking not stopping at the stop sign. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, you pretty much should have put your foot down. You know, like when you come to a stop, like even if it's a stop sign, like say this is a stop sign, I come up here like this, shift into first while it's still rolling, put my foot down, and then I go, just like that. Stop and then go. But I always stop, I put my foot down, because then I know I'm making a complete stop, and then I'll go again. That's the way I was taught. And that's two things. And he's like, yeah, you know, he's like, because I look in like the riding manual or whatever, you know, like the law book, and he's all, it doesn't say anything about you have to put your foot down when you come to a stop. And I'm like, well, maybe the book doesn't say that you do, but they told me that I should do that in my MSF class. And they also told me that, or trained me, you know, started me off by putting my left foot down on the ground and using my right foot for the rear brake. And so that's two things right there that I do every time I stop, that if that guy would have done that, he wouldn't have gotten a ticket. If he would have just came to a stop using his rear brake, put his left foot down, and then put it back up and then gone, he wouldn't have gotten a ticket. And makes me feel bad for the guy, you know? It's like, that's why I honestly feel like everyone should just be required to take an MSF class. Because he's like, you know, how do you ride? You know, like, what foot do you put down? He's like, I always put my right foot down. And I'm like, I always put my left foot down just because that's the way they taught me in class. That's the only reason I do that. I go, but if you like look at how any motorcycle officer rides, like you look at like a motorcycle cop, he'll always put his left foot down when he comes to a stop. He'll never put his right foot down, because they're taught to ride the same way that I was taught to ride. That's the whole point of taking an MSF class, is the training that you're getting as just a civilian, just like, you know, like riding is just your hobby or whatever. You're getting the same training, the same steps and everything. You're getting started off the correct way, just like the motor officers do. You're getting the same advice and the same technique and the same training as the motor officers, as the actual police officers. I just figured I would talk about that and let you know, if there's a police officer and he's waiting at a stop sign, you come up to that stop sign, put your foot down. Make sure that he knows that you stopped all the way, so that he doesn't give you a ticket for rolling through that stop sign. That's my advice. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Peace.